Update. I'm at the end of my rope with my wife. Hello everyone. 2 months ago, I shared my struggles with my wife, who has been a hoarder and faced many issues that felt beyond my ability to handle. I asked for advice on whether I should leave by July 1st, and the response was clear. I should. I didn't wait until July 1st. I left on the night of June 30th. As we drove to our apartment, I expressed my disappointment about the upcoming deadline. She seemed confused, asking if it was a bad date for me. I was furious inside but kept my feelings in check. I reminded her of my decision to move out, and she broke down, pleading for a week to clean the apartment to show her commitment to our marriage. I told her she could try, but I wouldn't be staying there during that time, so I moved in with a friend. We agreed to reassess the apartment that Sunday morning. She later told me how spiritually uplifting it was to clean, and for a moment, I felt hopeful. But then, on Wednesday, my father-in-law called me, frantic. He mentioned that my wife had emailed him, asking him to convince me to come back home. I was furious. It felt manipulative, and I couldn't believe she would use him to try to pull me back. On Saturday, she messaged me on Facebook, saying that while the apartment didn't look as good as she hoped, she felt she had made emotional progress. I told her that kind of progress would have been appreciated 2 years ago, but I couldn't stay. We had a disagreement about her spending money online without telling me, and I decided to close our joint bank account. She claimed she couldn't bear to see me in person, so I redirected my checks to a new account. Weeks passed, and I finally returned to collect my things. What I found was shocking. There was a water leak in the carpet, the litter boxes had been neglected, and she had somehow managed to move the microwave into her bedroom. This was surprising because she had often claimed she couldn't lift anything heavy due to an injury. I reported the situation to my mother-in-law, who co-signed the lease with us. Instead of addressing the issue, she lamented about how hard it was to think about caring for her daughter. I snapped at her, reminding her that she had signed papers years ago that made it her responsibility, not mine. Now, I'm happily living with my friend. We're figuring out what we are to each other, but we're supportive and making life easier for one another. We both just celebrated our birthdays, and it felt perfect. I've heard that my ex-wife has been more rigid and distant since I left. My mother-in-law even mentioned that my ex hadn't said she missed me. They seem upset that the car I have is in my name, a graduation gift from my family. Tomorrow, I start my new job. I've been preparing all week, and while I'm nervous, I'm also excited. I'm truly grateful I left. In summary, my wife begged for one last chance, but didn't follow through. She tried to manipulate her dad to get me back and made the apartment situation worse. My mother-in-law seems more concerned about herself than her daughter. I'm happy with my friend, and I'm ready for this new chapter in my life.